What's up, guys, and welcome to episode 8 of Bible Verse Breakdown. Now, before we get into the episode, know that I am relatively new to Christianity, so if I say something wrong or something you disagree with, let me know in the comments down below. Now, the verse of the day is Proverbs 18:2, which says this: "A fool takes no pleasure in understanding, but only in disclosing what is on his mind." Now, this verse is super unique because the people that need to hear it the most are the least likely to understand it. A fool in biblical terms doesn't just refer to someone that lacks intelligence, but someone that refuses to seek wisdom, knowledge, and truth. Instead of listening, a fool engages in a conversation to express their own opinion. They don't engage in a conversation to actually understand. They engage in a conversation to simply hear the sound of their own voice. They don't actually want to listen. They just want to say what's on their mind. If you had ever been in a conversation where instead of taking into consideration what you're saying, the other person is just waiting their turn to speak and not listening to you, that is exactly what this verse is talking about. And I've been through this multiple times throughout college. I'd be discussing God or even a more generalized conversation on morality and life choices. No matter how clearly I stated my reasoning, some people would dismiss what I had to say without second thought. And an example of this is as soon as I started taking my relationship with God seriously, some people started asking me why I wasn't engaging in hookup culture. And considering I was surrounded by atheists and agnostics, I took a more secular point of view. I told them when engaging in any sort of physical intimacy, your brain can release oxytocin. And this can actually create a chemical bond between multiple people. So how can I justify creating this chemical bond with a girl when I may be physically attracted to her, but I don't know if I'm mentally attracted to her yet? How can I justify creating this chemical bond when I don't know if the relationship will last? Then I'll say all this, and the person I'm having the discussion with will say something along the lines of, "Yeah, you're right, but hookup culture is fun and it's not that big of a deal." Then they'll go out, get with a couple of people, eventually think that they found the one, and then get cheated on. They thought they had this strong connection with someone, when in reality, that bond was mainly just chemical. And that's why God warns us against sex before marriage. Science explains what God and the Bible have been saying all along. But obviously, it isn't just the sex that can create this bond. There are other things that are important too to a relationship, like those deep conversations, like those wholesome fun activities you guys do together, like the emotional support you give one another. And yes, those things are arguably more important than the sex, but you can do those things with your friends. You can have those deep conversations. You can go on those trips together. You can create that strong connection. But sex is different. Sex is a gift you give to the person you love the most. And I know for a fact there's someone out there right now that's either in a relationship or is married and is thinking, well, me and my partner didn't wait for marriage and we're fine. That might be true for you, but for every person that thinks that they've beaten the odds, there are countless others that weren't so lucky. You think God wants us all to take that gamble? There are people out there that have given themselves both physically and emotionally to the person that they thought was the one, only to later realize that that person wasn't who they thought they were. Yet they still feel attached, unable to let go, even when the relationship was toxic. And that's why you hear of people staying in unhealthy or abusive relationships, unable to walk away when they know they should. And it's not because they're emotionally invested, but because sex has created this feeling that makes walking away feel impossible. And that's the power of dopamine, oxytocin, and emotional attachment that comes with physical intimacy. And that's because sex was designed to create this lifelong bond, not this temporary connection. But God didn't create this boundary to control us. He created this boundary to protect us. God knows how deeply sex ties and binds us together. So when this bond is created outside the commitment of marriage, it often leads to pain, confusion, and heartbreak. And Jesus says in Mark 2:27, "The Sabbath was made for the man, not the man made for the Sabbath." It's the same principle here. Just as the Sabbath was given as a gift to the people as a day of rest, this boundary was given to us to protect our hearts, our minds, and future relationships. It's not about God robbing us of fun, but sparing us from unnecessary suffering. And if you still don't get it, I'm going to give you another analogy. Let's say it's 4 p.m. and you're feeling a little bit hungry. Then all of a sudden you get this text from your parents that says, hey, we're going to have dinner at 6 p.m. in 2 hours. And we're going to have this chicken Caesar salad, this great chicken Caesar salad, and it's going to taste great and it's going to make you feel great afterwards. If you've ever had a great chicken Caesar salad, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But all of a sudden, your fleshly desires kick in. And you start thinking to yourself, what if I just ate right now? What if I were to hypothetically eat right now and to look through the fridge to see what I would hypothetically eat? So you start looking through the fridge, scavenging through the fridge, see what's in there. And all of a sudden, you see this chocolate peanut butter cake. And now that you've seen this chocolate peanut butter cake, your fleshly desires kick in even more. And you eat the whole cake. And then 6 p.m. rolls along, and all of a sudden that chicken Caesar salad that you once really wanted, you no longer want to eat. And even if you eat it, you're not even going to enjoy it. And it's the same thing for God's plan for us in regards for waiting for sex for marriage. You may have these extremely fleshly desires to do things your way, but if you can just wait for the right person, it makes it so much more enjoyable. A lot of you are just too quick to grab onto someone. There's this saying, don't go into a grocery store feeling hungry because you may grab the wrong things. You may grab the Oreos instead of the apples. It might taste good, it might feel good in the moment, but afterwards you're going to feel like crap. And it's the same thing for relationships. Don't go into a relationship feeling lonely. Because by doing so, you're putting yourself in a position of desperation, ultimately fleeing from God's plan. And sometimes I think about how God, the creator of the universe, has given us the secrets to life. Yet some of you still think that you can live life your own way. But you did not create the universe. You didn't get to decide what the rules of this world are. It's like looking at a painting like the Starry Night and trying to understand what it means, trying to interpret what it means for yourself. But you did not create that painting, so why are you trying to do that? Instead of trying to determine what that painting means, read about what Vincent van Gogh said that painting means, because he's the one who created it. It's the same thing for life. Don't try to interpret what life means and what the purpose of life is. Instead, go to the creator who has created that purpose through the Bible and read what it says through the Bible. Because God has created this masterpiece called life, and it's only up to him to determine what it actually means because he's the one who created it. And topics like this make me realize that not even scientific evidence can change people's minds. And if you are unwilling to think critically about your life choices, no amount of scientific or biblical proof can make you change your mind. Because unfortunately, people will choose what feels good rather than what is right, even when the truth is right in front of their face. And it is just so painful to watch it happen over and over again, as people destroy themselves through their own ignorance. And even in regards to relationships, when that same person gets cheated on, they don't think to themselves that has anything to do with their actions, their habits, the type of person they are, and ultimately the type of person that they attract. And then they repeat this cycle and continue through this loop. And it's just so painful to watch. And I know this might be a harsh lesson for some of you guys, but when I watch it happen from a third person point of view, it just seems so obvious. Yet none of you listen. And honestly, I don't even know how some of you guys preach to other people. Yes, I'm preaching right now, but it's through a screen. It's to the people that clicked on the video. It's to the people that want to listen to a certain extent. So what I do compared to a public preacher is nothing, because they're putting themselves in a position where some people might disagree with what they have to say. And it's not even because the other person actually disagrees, it's because the other person isn't even listening. And that is super frustrating. But ultimately, it is up to you to plant the seed of God in other people. But it's up to the individual, the other person, and God to water the seed. It is up to the individual to willfully seek the truth and to decide for themselves. Because someone who is wise will seek the truth, but a fool will dismiss the truth because it challenges their desires. All right, that's it for the end of the episode. Thank you so much for watching. And if you're new here, I do a gym edit at the end of each video showing my progress in the gym as I recover from my ACL surgery. So if you're interested in watching that, feel free to stay. And if not, have a good one. And I'll see you guys in the next one.
Gave you all I own, put you on this golden throne, but I'm a little stronger now. You cashed in on my promises, you know I'm too generous. Now I've learned to never help you out, 'cause I'm done cleaning up your mess. Found myself in my regrets. I've become a little stronger now, a little stronger now. You cashed in on my promises, you know I'm too generous. Now I've learned to never help you out, 'cause I'm done cleaning up your mess. Found myself in my regrets. I've become a little stronger now, a little stronger now, a little stronger now, a little stronger now, a little stronger now. You cashed in on my promises, you know I'm too generous. Now I've learned to never help you out, 'cause I'm done cleaning up your mess. Found myself in my regrets. I've become a little stronger now, a little stronger now. Cashed in on my promises, you know I'm too generous. Now I've learned to never help you out, 'cause I'm done cleaning up your mess. Found myself in my regrets. I've become a little stronger now, a little stronger now.